back in your pocket.
Win $1,000.
It's always a lot of fun when you win.
$1,000 in your hand. Sponsored by Verge Fitness on KFYR 550 KFYR.
Got a buck? You're in luck. Join Verge Fitness for $1 this January. This isn't just a gym. It's classes, 24/7 access, sauna, locker rooms, and wellness like red light therapy. Get back on track at Verge Fitness.
Mitchell in the Morning is powered by Schwann Buick.
Early birds always rise to the occasion for summer vacation planning because early gets you closer to the action. So don't be late. Book your next vacation early on Vrbo and save over $530 on week-long stays. Average savings $550. Select homes only. Minimum 7-day stay required.
TaxAct understands you haven't memorized the tax code. That's why TaxAct has live experts to help. TaxAct can even do it for you if you prefer. It's the easiest way to know you're doing it right. Well, other than going back to college and obtaining a bachelor's degree in accounting with a minor in finance, then interning somewhere and becoming fluent in all tax forms. But that might be hard to accomplish before tax day. So maybe just stick with TaxAct. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny, bitterly cold this afternoon. The high 5 below zero. Cloudy and absolutely frigid tonight. The low down to 14 below zero. Still frigid on Saturday with lots of clouds. The high to 5 above. Bitterly cold Sunday with sun and some clouds. The high of 1 above. After a cloudy start, sun returns on Monday. Not as cold, but still cold and breezy. The high of 23. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jason Catarina.
From the KFYR Radio, Lickby Homes of Bismarck Snow Desk, Hebron School District delayed 2 hours today. New Salem Almont opening 2 hours late. And United Tribes Technical College is closed today. Sunrise in Bismarck at 8:17 in about 5 minutes. Sunset 5:33. Tonight, high of 9, low of 18 below yesterday, normally 23 and 2. Are we going to break the record? No. Not at this rate anyway. 1966, we set a record at 36 below. Not expecting it that cold, though. In Bismarck right now, it's a west wind at 9 to make it feel like 41 below. Pressure steady, 30.73. Relative humidity, 66% clear, 21 below. 8:13, KFYR Radio, your news and weather authority.
I am the god of KFYR. Todd Mitchell.
Todd Mitchell.
Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell coming up after 9 o'clock. And Oderman's, as usual, to start the show on a Friday. Senator Kevin Cramer coming up. Deidre's Dates and Deets. And Sheriff Kelly Lieben will be coming on as well. The anniversary of Terry Kath and an accidental gun incident in which he inadvertently took his own life on this date, 1978. One of the longtime lead singers of Chicago at that point.
Children play.
That's him.
In the park. They don't know.
Playing Buck after 11, KFYR Cafe after 3 o'clock. If you're going to be in Dickinson, needing something nice and warm to drink, I know just the place, because 3 till 5 Mountain Time, I'll be over at Mega Lattes, so come by and say hi. Clay Peterson standing by. Guns in the 701 is next.
550. Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. Woo! What a week. We will give you the absolute latest on Greenland, on Venezuela, on Cuba. And we'll continue to track what's happening in Minneapolis, all that and more. We're joined by Tricia McLaughlin of DHS. She's the spokesperson there. What is the absolute latest on ICE and the way that they are being treated? And we will also talk with Mary Margaret Olahan, who is spending the day with Vice President J.D. Vance in Minneapolis, all that and more. Friday edition, Clay and Buck.
This morning at 11 on KFYR.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
What if your only resolution this year was to get better sleep?
You'd have more energy, handle stress better. Pretty much all your goals would be easier, right? That's why the smart way to start 2026 is with CBD from CB Distillery. Get this, over 90% of CBD customers say they sleep better with CBD. That's tough to beat. And when you sleep better, everything feels easier. And CB Distillery has options for more than just sleep. Solutions for stress relief, mood, and pain after workouts. And since you can shop by benefit, it's easy to find what you're looking for. Everything from CB Distillery is premium quality, third-party tested, and free of artificial dyes or fillers. And they have over 2 million happy customers and a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're ready to start the year off right, go to cbdistillery.com and use promo code HEALTH for 25% off. That's cbdistillery.com, code HEALTH. cbdistillery.com. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations.
You know what they say. Early bird gets the ultimate vacation home. Book early and save over $530 on a week-long stay with Vrbo. Because early gets you closer to the action. Whether it's waves lapping at the shore or snoozing in a hammock that overlooks, well, whatever you want it to. So you can all enjoy the payoff come summer with Vrbo's early booking deals. Rise and shine. Average savings $550. Select homes only. Minimum 7-day stay required.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/small business to sign up for free.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. I don't know if you've noticed, but we got a lot of food in this country. A lot of peaches, a lot of corn, a lot of apples, a lot of everything. We've got so much food that we can't even eat it all. So if we got all this extra food, how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? I just don't get it. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to the hungry kids who need it. They can get you food even if you live in Idaho or Alaska or somewhere crazy like that. This isn't complicated. We got extra food and we've got hungry kids. Feeding America's done the math. Now it's your turn. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. I know you got internet on your phone, so what are you waiting for? We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
818 at KFYR 550. Clay Peterson guns the 701. Is it cold enough for you?
Oh, it's just balmy and it's beautiful out. Yeah, minus 25. I mean,
yeah. That's nothing. You've seen worse. We've all seen worse.
I have seen worse. It was real temp minus like 39 here not that many years ago with a wind, so I'm happy. This ain't bad. No wind here today yet.
I gotta see if I can find a copy of the old wind chill chart, because I remember like 110 below when I was a kid. Of course, that's the old chart, not the current chart.
Okay.
But, yeah, I know. It's like, no wonder they wanted to get a different chart out. It's like, okay, look, 110 below? No, let's rethink this thing here.
I'm telling you, when it gets below zero, it don't matter at that point anymore. It's just cold out. But
well,
you know
that's
what?
true.
Like I was telling you on the phone, Todd.
Yes.
You know, we're going to talk about Minnesota anyway. Well, maybe, just maybe, this form of ice is going to take care of the situation over there.
You've been waiting all day to say that, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. There we go. Here it comes.
Well, I mean, good point, though.
No, I was talking about the music.
I could just
We're having a heat wave.
picture the international travel all driving around.
Heat wave.
That's when SUVs were big. There was more utility than sport back then.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because you don't picture like a housewife soccer mom driving her kids to practice in a travel all, do you?
Yeah, no. That's clever. You know what? We have an actual real SUV here, and it's one of the old, it's not old, I guess, but it is in today's world. 2015 Tahoe, but it's still a bigger vehicle. It's small to me, but it's still bigger. It's a real one.
I want to grab one of those trucks where they're driving on, land getting coal and stuff. Those big things that would take up like 8 lanes on a road.
Those things are, I like big machinery.
That's a truck right there, none of these pickups.
Be like home improvement.
That was a debate one time on the air, whether like a Silverado or a Sierra 1500's a pickup.
It is. It's a pickup, not a truck.
Well, see that. But it's a pickup, right? But not a truck. And yet, somebody called in. Their El Camino was registered was classified as a truck. So obviously, if an El Camino is as the Silverado is, or whatever, pick your favorite.
Well, the classification came from government, so they don't get much right.
I know, right? It's like, well, we're going to give government credit now. Why? Why start now?
Just think, it was the like the kids like to say, it was the first gen crossovers, right? It had a pickup and a car all in one.
Exactly. Well, as Clay mentioned, Minnesota in the news, anti-ICE agitators are now openly carrying. What does law say over there? And speaking of ICE, is this cold wave going to thin the herd over there?
Well, I think it's going to have a big effect like it did on DAPL. I mean, we watched that system just center right over that area, and you know what? Things kind of settled down over there shortly after that. So, yeah, over there, I can't imagine some of these people that have been flying in and traveling to Minneapolis are going to stick around. But here's what's interesting. All the same people that were over there mad at ICE and, protesting and rioting, because let's face it, they've had a little rioting going on. It's just, when you destroy stuff, it's a riot. They don't like the Second Amendment. But here they are, looking and going, hey, in Minnesota, we can carry, and you can. And that's the big thing. There's been pictures, I know you've probably seen them too, pictures of the guy sitting on a tailgate with his big bad 22, by the way. It looked like to me it was a Smith & Wesson AR style type firearm. So, 22 long rifle, whatever, carry what you want. But it is not illegal, surprisingly, in Minnesota to carry a long gun or rifles, essentially.
I love
you have a permit.
I love the response that somebody put on that picture. Can't wait for MAGA to suddenly be against two-way. This is going to be fun. They apparently don't quite understand MAGA or conservatism or whatever. I don't find too many MAGA people opposed to the Second Amendment. Come on.
No, and that's the difference between, say, quote, their side and our side. We believe in the Constitution and the rights for everybody. As long as you're a U.S. citizen, that's where I draw the line. If you're not a citizen of the country, you don't enjoy them rights as far as I'm concerned. So, in that being saying that, I don't care what side you're on, Democrat, Republican, commie, Democrat, same thing. Anyway, I believe you have the right to the Second Amendment. All 27 words of the Second Amendment do apply to you as a United States citizen. So, and the comments on there like, hey, wait a second. Yeah, we don't feel that way. Good for you, you're exercising your right. Maybe now you'll wake up, but they won't.
Thanks for not quizzing me on how many words were in the Second Amendment. I think I would have been wrong, but whatever.
Well, I kind of deal with it every day, that the whole thing, well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep in their arms shall not be infringed, the whole thing.
Right.
You can rattle that off, can't you, Todd?
Sure. We'll just go with that. So they're openly carrying, but are they going to start storming into churches with those things too? Because, we just had that thing in St. Paul, just a few blocks from where my mother lives. So now I got to go by that every time. Thanks.
Yeah, I was watching some of that when it was being aired on different places. And I'm like, wow. they're probably lucky it isn't like some alleged churches in my area that I can allegedly say that I wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be a good outcome.
Clay's going to open his Church of the Second Amendment, and
I think church, it should be a Second Amendment sanctuary. There we go. It's a sanctuary anyway.
My brother-in-law is a former pastor, retired now, but there was some he's former military, so there was some discussion about, is he carrying? And he didn't really want to comment on that, but it's sad it comes to that. But that's what it comes to. And if you want to be able to defend your congregation rather than have somebody shoot everybody, you need to be able to shoot back. You need to defend.
Absolutely. To me, church buildings are privately owned. They can call them public, and they're public access, but they're still privately owned. And if the church wants to allow it, and in South Dakota that's the way it is, that's just fine. You can do it. And yes, we don't have any issue with them at my church.
No. And frankly, the other side of the coin, too. I mean, if a church decides, no, we're not going to allow that, I mean, their prerogative. My prerogative to not go to church there, but, Yeah.
It's, and honestly, I don't hear it down here very much of where it's a problem. Who knows? I mean, maybe in the cities it is, and I don't know what the rules are actually in Minnesota. I do know that out there, it's funny, in Minnesota, they actually have what they call a short list in relative terms of a gun-free zone, which surprises me. You can carry during a protest. You can carry at or near a permitted event. You can't even do that in North Dakota. You cannot carry supposedly at a group, like in a gathering, something like at a Capitol, even though it's a Capitol ground. Let's say it's taking place anyway. You're not supposed to be carrying there. Yeah, well, good
okay, but can I be across the street with one? And because I'm not at the gathering, I'm at my own thing.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, you can.
Then what have they solved? They've given me a target. Not that I ever would in a million, but
There are still things to work on in North Dakota as far as Second Amendment. Things have gotten better. I mean, with representatives like Koppelman and Senator Magrum and some other great patriots like that, we've made a lot of headway, but there's still a lot of work to do. And I'm actually dumbfounded because I cut my teeth in South Dakota and politics down there. South Dakota's Second Amendment laws are very good. I mean, we made tons of headway over a short period of time down there. But up here, there's still work to do, and it just surprises me. As red as we vote, we got some purplish gun laws as far as I'm concerned.
Well, all things in due time. Give it time, though.
Yeah. But anyway, I threw this out here because I thought it was interesting that now you have people that are openly carrying, which I encourage if you're a legal citizen that isn't barred from having a firearm, for whatever infringement you may have committed, then I encourage you to carry it. And it really shouldn't, what do you want to say? This should never be something that's taken intimidating. And I know it intimidates people. And the reason is they've convinced people that you shouldn't do it. It's uncomfortable for others. I really don't care if you're uncomfortable with it. I will carry. I don't care if you're mad. I don't care if it defends you. I really don't
I'll
care.
Be the guy hiding behind Clay. All right, defend me. Defend me.
And I proved it in Rapid City because there was some issues going on down there when I was a rep with the PD. So I grabbed my AR and I had my 3-point sling on and just walked around downtown. And oh my goodness, it didn't take long. I knew the law though. We were good to go. Explained it to him, and the officer was actually pretty nice. And I said, I really don't care if you got a call that somebody was scared, intimidated, or offended by it.
It's not like you're aiming at people as you walk. I mean, that would be a different scenario then. But
well, and he was, doing his job, I guess. Like I said, he was a nice gentleman. And I said, just to explain to the people that this is legal. Why don't you ever take that path and defend me? Not infringe. And he goes, well, we're not infringing. I said, you kind of are by telling me to not have it. Is it common and normal? No. Not in the sense that you guys believe, but I said it is legal.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't have any problem with them saying you might consider to calm the public and not, but that's not necessarily infringing at that point, other than stopping you and requesting. But I wouldn't go any further than that with somebody, given what the law is, at least there.
Yeah, it's a request is just a cordial request. Fine.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm not going to bow down when it's not illegal. I'm just not going to do it.
Right. Right.
And he was good about it. And actually, him and I gave him my card, and ironically, he ended up coming to our NRA event later that month. So,
look at that.
So he was a good guy. He really was. But he goes, you're probably right. But
just because law enforcement stops to ask you doesn't mean that they're opposed to what you're doing.
Right. There are good ones, guys. There really are. There's some bad ones, like in anything, but they're good people in law enforcement. They truly are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I look at this and I go, it looked like to me that the officers in Minneapolis were following what the law said, and they weren't really doing anything to these people carrying, as should be. Now, I don't agree with the people that are protesting and rioting, but they were following the law, it seems. So good for them.
Well, all the defund the police people from a few years back, I hope they're learning a lesson right now, because you thin the law enforcement herd and then you amp up the crowd that needs to be corralled, if you will.
Yeah.
And guess what? You get what you get then.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It's showing now. 831 on KFYR. It's Clay Peterson Guns in the 701 on KFYR. We've got more coming up. Hang on.
It's a new talk show just for the Dakotas. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. Weekdays from 9 till 11 on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny, bitterly cold this afternoon. The high 5 below zero. Cloudy and absolutely frigid tonight. The low down to 14 below zero. Still frigid on Saturday with lots of clouds. The high to 5 above. Bitterly cold Sunday with sun and some clouds. The high of 1 above. After a cloudy start, sun returns on Monday. Not as cold, but still cold and breezy. The high of 23. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jason Catarina.
Right now, it's 22 below.
It's Mitchell in the morning. KFYR 550.
Coming up on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report presented by Proceed, NDSU Extension will host an annual beef cattle update. And linking soil to supper is the theme of this year's Evolution Ag Summit coming up in February in Jamestown. Those details next on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report presented by Proceed.
Simplot Grower Solutions is a full-service agronomy retail store with locations in Napoleon and Wishick. We provide ag application services in spraying and fertilizer spreading. Simplot Grower Solutions has 4 crop advisors to help with all your agricultural needs. Simplot offers seed, crop care, crop nutrition, and fertilizer. Call today or check out our website, SimplotGrowerSolutions.com. Simplot Grower Solutions. We are committed to your success over the long run because we know that farming is more than your job. It's your legacy.
KFYR.
Welcome back to the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report presented by Proceed. It is cold outside. A significant Arctic cold front sweeping through our area, leading to some extremely cold air, and that is going to stay with us through Sunday. It's going to be cold next week, moderating somewhat, but it is expected to be cold for a while. Some very cold weather headed to the southern part of the United States, down in Texas as well. Some winter wheat areas at risk of winter kill on the winter wheat. Well, NDSU Extension is hosting its annual beef cattle update in Mackville, North Dakota. That's coming up Friday, February 20th, offering cattle producers practical, ready-to-use information for their operations. Livestock producers from that area and surrounding communities invited to a program built around expert speakers, hands-on learning, and local support. The event starts with a lunch, followed by focus sessions on herd health, farm planning, and current market trends. Producers will have the opportunity to meet the new extension veterinarian and hear updates from a veterinary diagnostic lab to better understand disease prevention and animal health testing. A market outlook session helps farmers interpret price trends and prepare for upcoming cattle sales. The program also includes guidance on succession planning to support smooth farm transitions to the next generation. Overall, the beef cattle update delivers timely tools to strengthen herd care, marketing decisions, and long-term farm success. Linking soil to supper is the theme of this year's Evolution Ag Summit. That's coming up in Jamestown on February 17th. The North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the 4th annual event, which looks at shifting food policies and fast-changing consumer trends that directly affect farmers, ranchers, and the food system. NDFU President Matt Perdue says evolving tastes and new regulations are reshaping demand, and that the summit is designed to help producers navigate those changes and spot some new opportunities. Experts will cover emerging ag and food market trends, including the impact of MAHA regulations from farm to retail. Producers also will have the opportunity to network with industry professionals. Keynote speaker is Leslie Kelly of High Heels and Canola Fields, headlines the program alongside presenters from Purdue University, AGT Foods USA, and American Meat Science Association, and more. The summit runs from 9 to 3 at the Farmers Union State Office. Registration is required and is available at ndfu.org. And DTN retail fertilizer prices for the second week of January 2026 are nearly all lower compared to the previous month. 7 fertilizers are slightly lower in price, while urea is slightly higher looking back a month. None were up or down a sizable amount. DTN designates a significant move as anything 5% or more. That is the latest on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report presented by Proceed. I'm Shannon Dean.
KFYR, your ag authority.
Summer's heating up, and so is the action with Chumba Casino and 2311 Racing. Whether you're trackside with Bubba, Riley, and Tyler, or cooling off at home, the fun never stops at Chumba Casino, the online social casino packed with free-to-play games like slots, bingo, and more. Jump into summer at ChumbaCasino.com and score your free welcome bonus. 2 million free gold coins and 2 free sweeps coins. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T&Cs. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
We're your news authority, the legendary voice of the Northern Plains, KFYR.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. The main ingredient in place for a massive weekend winter storm across 40 states. Frigid temperatures, -32 wind chill in Chicago, mixing in with moisture sweeping east from Oklahoma and Dallas. And that's why National Weather Service Director Ken Graham calls it dangerous.
The big thing is listen to local officials. If schools are closed, stay home, stay put, because it's not just the snow. In some places, it's the snow and it'll be sleet and ice. We're going to have large areas of sleet, with making travel absolutely hazardous.
Anti-ICE protesters calling for a day of action in Minnesota, despite Vice President J.D. Vance offering.
Working with state and local officials, we can make the worst moments of chaos much less common, and all they've got to do is meet us halfway.
President Trump withdraws his Board of Peace invitation to Canada. America's listening to Fox News.
KFYR 550.
Pull out the straitjacket. I'm going crazy. My head hurts.
My wife friggin' thinks I'm nuts. Go ahead, lose your mind.
This is why I drink.
We'll give it back.
It's absurd.
The legendary voice of the Northern Plains, KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
At America's Best, we know your eyes do a lot.
These eyes blink, wink, and roll.
These eyes tried to parallel park, then abandoned that idea.
These eyes spotted their ex across the grocery store, then pretended to compare pasta sauces.
These eyes fell asleep mid-scroll and liked a photo from 2014.
And these eyes know they deserve to be seen by the best doctors and associates at America's Best. Every eye deserves better.
We see kindness every day in our communities. Early Giving for Giving Hearts Day helps keep that going. Early Giving is now open. It's your opportunity to support local charities before Giving Hearts Day even begins. Your generosity helps organizations prepare, grow, and reach more people when it matters most. Because kindness isn't just a moment, it's something we build together. Learn more and give early at givingheartsday.org.
You know the feeling. That rush when you reach that goal? Make somebody brag a little back home? That's success. And at University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why UMGC offers an accredited skills-based education that helps move your career forward. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus build your skills in leadership, communication, and critical thinking. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. With affordable and online programs, you can unlock new opportunities to help you succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Stay connected, stay protected, and stay in control with the latest smart products from the Home Depot. Secure your home with smart cameras, doorbells, door locks, floodlights, and more from top brands, so you can stay aware from anywhere. Whether you're around the corner, across the country, or at the dinner table, do life safer with the latest smart home security at our everyday low prices. A smart home is a safe home. The Home Depot. Smart homes start here.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/protect. That's trustandwill.com/protect to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PROTECT.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny, bitterly cold this afternoon. The high 5 below zero. Cloudy and absolutely frigid tonight. The low down to 14 below zero. Still frigid on Saturday with lots of clouds. The high to 5 above. Bitterly cold Sunday with sun and some clouds. The high of 1 above. After a cloudy start, sun returns on Monday. Not as cold, but still cold and breezy. The high of 23. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina.
842, 21 below in Bismarck at KFYR 550. And Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. Michael has arrived. My money was betting on Michael Bell doing it from home today, going, I'm not going out in this stuff. And I guess I don't blame him. The Odermans after 9, Senator Kevin Kramer, Deatrice Deets, and Sheriff Kelly Lieben all on deck over the next couple hours. Clay Peterson here with me, Guns in the 701. Got some considerable territory to cover, so let's see.
I'm going to slip something in here, though, Todd.
Yes,
I got to let everybody know, speaking of Michael Dakota Morning, Michael Bell's going to be joining me Wednesday night on Guns in the 701, so tune in. I think it'll be a good show. I hope, Michael, you remember that.
How about that?
Yeah.
Probably a more logical person to put in with Kelly Armstrong, because I remember when you had me and him in there, and I'm sure Kelly's going, why am I doing this show with Todd Mitchell, of all people? Good grief.
I guess we should have clarified, jump in anytime.
Well, anyway. I mean, you two know more than I'll ever know, so it's like, well, what am I here for this? But it was fun being there.
I said our governor of the great state of North Dakota is proud. We keep saying it. He's the most Second Amendment governor that we've had, and that's just fact. You can look at Kelly's record on supporting the Second Amendment, voting on bills, and bringing bills across the board. I'm telling you, that guy is a Second Amendment.
I can't imagine us electing an anti-Second Amendment. I mean, some people that are more passive about it, they'll at least give it the lip service it needs to be given. But you can't come out as a Second Amendment hater and become governor of North Dakota.
But trust me, and I'm just going to reference Burgum because he was on board with red flag laws before he wasn't. At least he woke up, but I still think he has deep down, I don't think he's the 2A guy that he, told everybody.
Well, right,
he wasn't anti.
That's kind of where I was going with that example. It's like, okay, some are like, they'll at least tell you they are, but at least he's smart enough to go, oh, God, Second Amendment, we should get rid of it. Well, he's not that foolish.
Remember, him and Baszler and Wardner are all standing there. Oh, yeah, we're all for this red flag law. What, you morons? Really? Yes, I said it. Anyway.
Well, there we go. All right. So $300 suppressors, huh?
Yeah, that's why I brought it. I've seen this. I get emails because I sign up to get news on different stuff. And Lyman Products, of all people who've been making reloading products for years, they're coming out with new suppressors. They had this big rollout at SHOT Show that was just wrapping up, and $199 to $299. So yeah, between $200 and $300 for a suppressor. And I don't know much about them. They've got 4 different models that they're going to be offering. They said they took the European suppressor design, which, okay, everybody, don't get mad, don't kill the messenger. We know how Europe feels about guns, but forget everything I just said.
Nobody's ever killed anybody over there, though, right?
Yeah, and they have really, a lot of times, they have rules. You have to have a suppressor. They consider it really offensive if you don't have one when you're shooting around other people or hunting. Suppressors can be bought off the shelf in Europe. They can be bought off the shelf when you go to Africa for a African.
Well, what's everybody's problem with having one? Wouldn't we all want a nice, quieter world in that regard?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're not regulated by a National Firearms Act, and at least we don't have the $200 tax stamp anymore. But you still got to fill out a background form for a piece of metal with a hole through it that suppresses sound. Oh, what's that? That's a muffler. Come on.
It's a suppressor that identifies as a muffler, therefore.
Oh. I mean, Maxim Muffler Company actually created the first suppressors for Teddy Roosevelt, so this isn't new
Well, there
technology.
you go. It was good enough for Teddy. It should be good enough for the rest of us.
There
Good
you
grief.
go. So I brought that because I'm sitting there going, my goodness, a $200 to $300 suppressor? I might have to get a few of them. I mean,
and it makes a great Christmas gift.
yes, it does. I mean, most people waste that in a bar on a weekend,
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I looked at this, and they keep touting this, and then I was looking more into it. As the first article says, that they're basing all manufacturing in the United States. So, and you do get quality control. Everything's a little bit better that way, except Germany. Germany's got some pretty good machinists over there. But I was in there going, this is cool because they're going to offer one specifically between the a .223 caliber, which would be a .224 bullet, up to 30 caliber, which is pretty common, 2 different models. I actually have a 30 caliber myself, so that was my first one that I bought because that's all I could afford back then. So I was going to have one for everything. Well, I have a few more guns now, so they could be a direct thread or an over-the-barrel configuration, stainless steel. Then they've got one that's going to be just for a 9mm handgun, so that'll be kind of cool using that 38 round. Then the Scarv 22. Sounds Russian to me.
Yeah, we don't need more of that in the world, do we?
Oh, you Americans, I got my Scarv now, my suppressor on my 22. Yes. Anyway, Vladimir Putin loves it. Anyway, I'm on a roll this morning. But anyway, rimfire suppressor compatible, what it is. It's designed for a 22 rimfire, which if you had never had a 22 specific rimfire suppressor on your 22, it's worth it because it's a lot less weight, and you can see around the barrel. Then you're not looking and kind of wondering. And I just trust me, get one of them, and I imagine that's going to be in that $200 range when you see their suggested retail prices. So, yeah, I'm really excited. And then they have the Recor. That's a direct thread, another .223 or a 30 caliber model. So, yeah, I think this is great. I'm looking forward to seeing what they look like, and I imagine I'm going to have to get 1 or 2 of them because the price point is perfect.
It's going to start hoarding them. 849 at KFYR, it's Clay Peterson, Guns in the 701. So we're just talking about governors and, who's supportive of the Second Amendment. Turns out one other state's governor's not only anti-Second Amendment, but pushing for a gun ban.
Oh, yeah, this is New Mexico Governor Michelle Grisham. I don't use the whole, the hyphenated names. You get married, use the damn name. Sorry. Just
I'll let you call my wife.
She's term limiting out, though. She's going to be term limited out after this, so she's really pushing to get something through. She's tried in the past, and she's had some success in passing some stuff, and then it gets overruled in court, as should. A lot of them cases based on Bruin, but she doesn't. An anti-gunner never quits. I will give them this: they are resilient. They don't go away, and so she made it clear in her Tuesday State of the State address that she wants to ban most semi-automatic rifles. That's one of her top priorities, as she said. She wants to keep fighting the devastating scourge of the term they use, gun violence, which don't exist. It's no such thing as gun violence. It's just violence. And it's not
the gun's just sitting there. I mean, it's not doing anything.
And of course, she wants an assault weapons ban, which, by the way, everybody, keep an eye on Congress right now. There's 2 bills out there that basically bring back the 1994 assault weapons ban. Only it's the assault weapons ban on steroids. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but we need to watch it because there's 2 bills, one in the Senate, one in the House. We got to watch those. But I'll let anybody know if it moves. And then, of course, I like how she says that nobody needs a body-shredding weapon for hunting or self-defense. I mean...
Yeah, you haven't seen me shoot. I need some that'll fire about 30 at a time.
I like how the author puts in here that, well, first of all, nobody wants a body-shredding rifle or firearm in general when you go hunting, unless you want it ground when you pick it up. I mean, just the idea and the stupidity of these people, it never ceases to amaze me because they obviously don't hunt and they obviously don't shoot much, which is most of the time what anti-gunners are. And then the things they want to put on dealers, this is crazy, Todd. This thing will require a dealer to have video recording devices at each point of sale and entrance and exit of the premise. So when you're coming in, when you're coming out, well, most dealers have that anyway.
I was going to say, I mean...
yeah, but they want one, and as I looked into this more in the bill, they literally want 1 or 2 cameras so that they can see the sale as it happens and then require them dealers to keep that footage for a minimum of 2 years. Now, that's important language. It says a minimum. Didn't say any kind of maximum, didn't say it couldn't change. I mean, can you imagine a regulatory agency within the state going, well, yeah, we want you to keep it, at least 2 years, but we're going to require 5 now. They left it open-ended. Language is everything in these bills. So that's just crazy. It also would prohibit the sale and manufacture and transfer of extremely dangerous weapons. Extremely dangerous weapons. So that mean knives? Does it mean, what's a dangerous weapon? My car? It didn't define it either. That's all it says in that bill so far. Now, I imagine they'll do some tweaking on this bill. I'm just telling you that most of this stuff has already been settled in court several times in different cases across the nation and been either rejected or upheld, depending on Bruin. It all goes back to the Bruin case out in New York. So it'll be interesting to see this. They don't care. They pass them, and they say, go ahead, take us to court. They just don't care because they're not paying the bills.
Well, no kidding. Give me the 60-second Give me the 60-second version of the happy ending chronicle of the week. We're getting close on time here.
We go to Texas. We had a woman out walking her dog. A crazy, it looks like to me, looking at the public records, he might have even been an illegal. And he's had a history of felonies, a kidnapping, even spent jail time. He was going to kidnap her. She'd come home. She got her husband. He's a patriot. He went and took his firearm with him, went to confront the guy. Guy got a little bit defensive and aggressive. He ventilated him with 1 shot to the chest. He's no longer a threat to society, and we have a happy ending of the week.
There you have it.
How's that?
Goes to the 701 Fridays here on KFYR and plenty of other stuff on the iHeart platform, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Check us out on iHeart. Best platform to check all of our stuff out along with KFYR. Thanks, Todd, for having us on every single Friday. Don't forget that tonight, Leon Francis
will
be joining the Guns and 701 Network tonight at 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 Central. You want to tune in for that. Sunday Devotion, Sunday morning, 7:15 6:15, 7 o'clock, and depending on when he gets on air, a.m. Mountain Time, 8:15 Central. So that's the wrap for the week.
Before you know it, the 701 network will go 24 hours. And
oh, my goodness. I don't want to run that.
well, I mean, okay, you're going to be repeating a lot of programming when you do that. But
Actually, there's 3 of us involved in this deal that are going to maybe be bringing a new show again in February, so stay tuned.
Well, see, there you go. You're getting to that point where you can go ahead and just play it on a loop over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. My bucket list gets bigger, so we'll talk to you later.
All right, take care. Clay Peterson, Guns.